This right here is the Fifine Ampligame SC3, and two things right off the bat. Number one, Fifine did send this out to me free of charge for the purpose of making videos about it. There was no compensation, no money exchange, so all opinions are my own. And the second thing is that this is a very budget-friendly device, and for the price, I think that you cannot go wrong with this one. Okay, if you're starting out and your budget is very limited, this is definitely the device to go to. All right, so I'm going to go over all the features that it has and a couple of caveats that are necessary to mention. And so let's get right to it. So this is a budget-friendly device, like I said. For the price, it's pretty good in my opinion, and it's got a lot of capability. So number one, you have connectivity to an XLR microphone. In this case, I am using it with an Audio-Technica AT2020, and it does require 48 volts of phantom power because it is a condenser microphone. So this one does provide the 48 volts. Okay, so you have a switch in the back that you select whether you want a dynamic microphone or, well, not you want, you have a dynamic microphone or you have a condenser microphone. I don't know if I didn't test it right, but I didn't see that it made a difference switching one way or the other, so there's that. But the important thing is that if your microphone is condenser and requires 48 volts of phantom power, pressing this button right here means that it is activated. It is white, means that it's activated. If I press it, it is deactivated. Right, so with the 48 volts on, your condenser microphone is going to work just fine. Now it's got a couple of extra features. For example, the second button here, and I'm just gonna go counterclockwise as fast as I can. Now the second button here says electric, and this is basically like a auto tuner sort of thing, and it basically has a pitch correction of sorts, and it has the correction for several keys. For example, you can pretty much go from A, B flat, B, C, D flat, D, A flat, G, G flat, F, E, and E flat. Okay, so those are the corrections that it does. Basically, let me give it a chance, a test. So if I have, for example, I am speaking normally right now, I'm going to be switching to this microphone, and the functionality is not engaged right now. So if I press, this is in the key of A, so it is supposed to be doing some auto tune in the key of A, and I can just switch it up. Right now it's in D flat, so if you are listening to headphones, then you're probably going to listen to a difference in the key, in the key of D flat. Okay, if you want to turn it off, you hold down, and now it's back to the normal unprocessed sound. So switching back to my main microphone. Another interesting feature about this little audio device is that it has 4 custom buttons that goes from A, B, C, and D. And basically these are kind of voice recorders or sound pads. So you can record up to 15 seconds to each of the buttons, and the way that you record is by holding it down. So let's give it a sound test. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. So right now, if I play it back, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, so there's one caveat about this recording feature that I'm going to get to in a second. Okay, so you have 4 of these, so you can record 4 sounds into each. 4 sounds in total, okay, 1 for each sound, up to 15 seconds again. Now, going to the sliders, you got 3 mute buttons and one that kind of works like a mute button, but not really, but yes, but it's kind of strange. Okay, this button is rather strange, the third one. Okay, so the first one, this is pretty much to mute the microphone. So if I'm speaking into the microphone and I mute here, and now you can hear again. All right, so this is the gain of the, I'm not sure if I should call it gain actually, because there is no gain control per se on this mixer or this audio interface, but you can control how loud or low the volume of the microphone is. Okay, so I tend to keep it almost at max. And one little neat thing that this has is these LEDs right here at the top. They are the levels of how loud the volume input is, and on this side, on the right side, is how loud the output is. So most of the time it's going to be kind of level, especially if you have the mic monitor on. But if I turn off the mic monitor, and you will see that there is only input, but there is no output. Okay, so right now, that's one of the differences. The second slider is for your line in, and I keep it down because I don't have anything connected to my line in. But if you had, for example, an iPhone, iPad, Android phone, or any source of 3.5mm plug, you can use the line in to input any sort of audio into it, and you regulate the volume of it using this slider. You can also mute it with this button right here. All right. The third slider is controlling your headphone volume, and this does have an output for headphone and also an output for line out. So you will control the volume of your headphones using this slider, and this button that I was saying that is a little bit confusing because it's like a mute button, but at the same time it's not, but it is. Sorry. This basically activates the live monitoring feature. So when the button is activated, or the feature is activated, it is white, like you can see right now. And when it is white, it means that you will listen to yourself in the headphone, and you will also listen to whatever effect you have activated in the audio interface. Okay. What's the caveat with this one button? Well, as I was recording this video and I was doing some testing, I realized that when I was trying to record the custom sound on my first take, which you didn't see, there was no sound, and the reason for that was that this feature, the mic monitor, or yeah, the live monitoring feature, was deactivated. And for some reason, if you cannot listen to yourself in the headphones, then apparently these buttons cannot listen to whatever the sound is coming from. So there's that caveat, okay? So if you're trying to record a custom sound and it's not working, then the reason might be that the source of the microphone in this case is deactivated, okay? Now the third one is the line out, and also this is a slider that will control how loud the line out is. And I really like this one because I have my external speakers connected to this, so this allows me to control the volume of my external speakers and also allows me to mute. So I normally have my headphones and also my external speakers. Sometimes I prefer to use the headphones, other times I prefer to use the speakers. If I am more concerned about audio quality, then I am using my headphones, and obviously if I am not that concerned about audio quality, I can use the speakers. And so sometimes I just want to listen to something very carefully, maybe take a call on the computer, maybe a conference call or whatever, and I want to listen only on my headphones. So the easiest thing in the world for me is to just press the mute button right here, and I can just turn down the speakers instantly, or mute the speakers rather instantly. So this is a feature that I have come to really appreciate. I can also, like I said, regulate the volume of the speakers from the single device right here. So it is one thing that I really wanted for a very long time, is to be able to control the volume of the headphones and the speakers separately, but using the same device, and to just press a button to choose what device I'm going to be listening to. All right, so the headphones pretty much always yield the sound of your computer and your microphone and the lining and everything. And you can not deactivate the headphones, so to speak. You cannot mute the headphones unless you turn down the volume. But you can mute individual channels. So you can mute the microphone from being listening to in the headphones. You can mute the line in, and yeah, the microphone line in, basically. That's what you can mute through the headphones, okay? So I like that granular control between headphones and speakers. Is what I really appreciate about this audio device. And again, for the price, it's really cool that it has this feature. Okay, moving on. I already talked about the custom buttons here, and there is a voice changer that's kind of funky, but it can be fun. So I'm going to demonstrate some of the, well, I can demonstrate all the sounds, so bear with me. So the first one.
This is supposed to be a male effect, male voice effect.
This is supposed to be a female voice effect.
This is supposed to be a robot.
That was supposed to be a robot.
Now, this is supposed to be a monster.
And this is supposed to be a baby. It sounds more like a squirrel in my opinion, but it is what it is.
And then there is this one that says elder, but for some reason, it sounds exactly the same as the male. So I don't know.
And you deactivate the function by holding down the button. And then the final button over here at the top is the RGB for faster frames per second. All right, so it has several options. So if I press it once, you got the first one that is fading between all the colors, or all the RGB colors, and it fades all of the buttons at the same time with the same color. And any button that is activated is solid white, as you can see. If I press it again, it will turn into a solid pink type of button. And no, actually it's cycling between colors, but it fades out and fades into the new color, basically. This one is going clockwise, one by one, each of the buttons, changing the colors individually in a circular fashion, as you can see. It's going round and around. Then this is, I believe, a solid red color. Yeah, from here on it cycles between solid colors. So this is solid red, solid pink, solid purple, solid blue, solid cyan, solid green, solid yellow, and this is like my default, my preferred one. It cycles all of the buttons in fading between colors, basically, but not all at the same time, just individually. So I kind of like the variance of it. So I think if you hold it down, you turn it off. Let me check. Yes. So basically only the whatever feature is enabled is solid white, otherwise it is completely off. If you hold it down again, then it's going to go back to whatever setting you had, I think. No, just press it once. Okay, so those are the features of this little audio interface. Again, for the price, I think it's really good. Things that caught my attention in the caveats that I wanted to mention are strange. Like the first one is the one that I already mentioned. If the mic monitor is off, for some reason the custom buttons do not record your microphone at least. Another thing is that there is a very slight delay in the live monitoring, so it's not exactly 100% live, I would say. There's like, I don't know, it's too close to even be able to measure, at least not for me, but there is ever so slight delay. And if you have an effect applied, for example, the voice changer, the delay is a little bit more noticeable. So it's like somebody's trying to repeat whatever you say almost at the same time, and it can be a little bit distracting at first, but you kind of get used to it. Okay, so if no effects are applied, then it is almost real time and very usable. Another caveat I would say is that you cannot equalize the microphone. And this is something that I really like of other audio interfaces, that you can equalize the microphone. I like to add a little bit of bass to my voice, maybe tone down the sibilance a little bit, because my voice tends to be a little bit sibilant. And yeah, things of that matter. Some microphones have different sound signatures, so I kind of like to tweak them to whatever, at least to my ears, sounds better. That's subjective, of course, but again, affordable device, so it does not include any equalization. And let's see, I don't think that there is anything else to add to it. Yeah. Oh, very important, the headphone amplification goes up to 250 ohms. And the headphones that I have, these are Sennheiser HD6XX, so this one requires 300 ohms. So what I'm trying to say with this is that it is barely enough to drive my headphones. And I don't know if you can tell here, but I do have my headphone slider all the way to the top so that I can listen at a comfortable volume using these headphones. So that's one caveat. If you have high impedance headphones, then you're probably going to have a little bit of trouble building the volume up on this audio interface up to a comfortable level. But If you're in a budget, I kind of doubt that you will have high impedance headphones anyway, unless, like me, they were given to you as a gift. So these were given to me as a gift. That's why it happened. Okay, so all in all, if you're in a budget, I absolutely recommend the Fifine Ampligame SC3. This is not a device for streamers. This is mostly a device for gamers or people who like to have a little bit more control over the sound of your, your microphone lining and basically your computer sounds. Okay, so, and you also want the option to add extra devices. Okay, so highly recommended for the price. You can't beat it. An excellent choice, and of course the fact that it supports your XLR microphone with the 48 volt phantom power. So that's absolutely awesome. So an affordable device with a lot of value, highly recommended. Thank you to Fifine for sending the SC3 for me to review. And if you are interested in seeing another one of my favorite audio interfaces, which is the Comicat Caster C2, go ahead and click right here. So thank you for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. And until then, may God bless you.